How's it going, everyone? This is another episode of 0 to 100. Let's see what we have going on. Good news, not so good news, and kind of bad news. Good news, I closed on my third deal officially. I got paid for it today. Pretty excited. Awesome. This deal was also about $4,000, which is, it's great. It worked out. I'm very happy about it. There's nothing really too much to talk about the good stuff, and it's just like, oh yeah, it all worked out, it's awesome. But let's talk about not that good of a stuff. So things that are not that good. I have two properties on the contract today, and I think I mentioned it in the previous video. I can't find buyers for them. Today is Thursday, and tomorrow is Friday, obviously. So I'm going to have to try to put both of them for a discounted price and just try to get it done. If I make a couple $1,000s out of each of those properties, just to get it done. I'm having problems finding cash buyers for both of those properties. I feel like I got a good price. Like the first one, the 55 plus community property, I was like, okay, so it's $35,000 property that I acquired it for, so I'm trying to wholesale it for about 40 if I can. And I'm like, okay, so it's a $1,100 fee for them monthly to pay all for the lot fees, and it's about $2,000 rent from the seller, that what the seller told me it is. Here's the problem I'm having. There's not a single proof that shows that $2,000. I did that rent is $2,000. I did talk about a little bit more in the previous video, so I'm not gonna get into it too much. So I'm still having that problem. I can't figure it out. I can't show it that that's what it can be rented for. So I'm kind of stuck at that point, and like I said, seller has to get me some things in writing from other people that live in that community to show that between $200 to $2,200 he can rent it out. The investor can rent out the property. We'll see. We shall see. To be honest with you, I don't know if it will work out. I actually really want to help this guy out. He's a very nice guy, and I'm not going to share too much of his information, but his wife is going through serious illness, and his mother is going through serious illness, and he's just a very cool guy. Like the guy plays music, and he's just cool to talk to, and I really hope I can actually help him. I mean, let's be honest with you. I obviously want to make money if I can, but even if it's going to be $1,000, but at the end of the day, I can just close on the deal, and he gets his $35,000, and everything works out for him. I'll be pretty excited. I'll be pretty happy, to be honest with you. So let's see how. I'm just hoping this is what's going to happen, and I'm going to be able to make it work. And let's go to not so good news. So if any of you guys followed me from the beginning, my first deal, it was a deal for a mobile home and a vacant lot. The guy wanted to sell both for one price, and he was willing to get a discount because both from one price, etc. And unfortunately, when you try to buy two properties at the same time, even though I wrote a contract that says, this property contingent upon closing of this property, it doesn't really work that way. You have to write a separate contract for each property. So the seller has to agree to a price for each property. So he said, okay, this land is $8,000, and this mobile home on this two lots is $26,000. Okay, so we got that done. And I assigned the property, so it's 34 or whatever. I assigned the property for 36. So when I assigned the property for I assigned the property for 38. So that's $4,000 assignment fee. And what I did is I split it in two. So $2,000 for the land and $2,000 for the mobile home. I don't know what was the right thing to do. Like I said, it was my first deal. It was a split in two deal, and it was just like, okay, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but let's see what we can do, right? So half of the deal didn't work out. So the one half of the deal, the one that had the land, worked out. So because it was cleared out, the title came back clear. We were waiting for a survey for a long time because survey had a problem because the survey crew had someone that got sick of COVID, and because of that, they had to delay the results of the survey for a little bit, which delayed our closing process. But in the end of the day, it still worked out. Let's go to the mobile home. The mobile home didn't clear the title. What happened? Let me get into this. So this is also some knowledge for people when they deal with it, so you don't make mistakes that I do, or you at least know, you get to this prepared. So when if you're in Florida, I don't know if this goes by state, but let's say you're in Florida, and I would say I would go to your state's rules and try to figure this out. So the owner bought property at tax deed sale. I'm not sure how the property goes to tax deeds. I think it's one that's not paid and it's not put in pre-foreclosure, if I'm not mistaken. So it pretty much goes to tax deed sale, and he bought it for super cheap. He bought it for like $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever. That's what happens. But what you do is when you buy a property super cheap, you also take on the responsibilities that come with the property, which are back taxes, back mortgages, etc. But the guy didn't know it, so he owned the property since 2014. It's 2020 now, so it's been 6 years. So apparently there used to be a mortgage on that property, and like in a amount of $34,000 or something like that. And he didn't know it. He didn't pay. The mortgage guy didn't come after him. So no one, until we actually decided to sell the property, actually no one came to us and talked about anything. So, you know, the title company tried to do the title search. The title didn't come back clean, and they said, okay, well, we can't really do anything about it unless that guy releases the title. And I'm like, okay, well, let's make that guy release the title. I see he didn't try to get the money back. He was owned on that mortgage for 6 years. Why would he do it now, right? Well, he did. So I'll get to that in a second. But so the title company tried to get a hold of the guy, didn't get a hold of the guy, couldn't figure it out. Deal ended up falling through because the title company couldn't get a hold of the guy to clear the title, and they said they can't figure it out. I was the one who found the guy. I found his home address. I found his office because he had a new office. I went there. I did a lot of work, but I was like, okay, this is in title company's hand. I don't want to step on their feet to tell them what to do and how to do it, so I'll let them do their thing. And they didn't do it properly. They really didn't. And like, the more I learned into this, the more I learned this, I'm like, I feel like I have to do a lot of things myself. Like, some people just don't want to do their job, but I feel like that's any business anywhere. Even if you work for an employer or you will have your own business, you will always have that. Either way, so that deal ended up falling through. So half the deal, so I only got $2,000. My first deal was supposed to be $4,000. I got $2,000. So I wasn't that happy, but I understood that I was still happy because the deal closed. And then every day I got some money back, and they actually helped me out. But here's the thing. I was like, okay, so what can I do to make that better? So I talked to the seller, and I kept good relationship with the seller. I was like, hey, what if I find you, I clear your title, I clear the title for you, I talk to the guy, and you can go ahead and put that property in contract with me again, and we will go ahead and sell it. He's like, oh yeah, well, just let me know. And I was like, okay, I'll let you know. So I didn't give up. I went ahead and I wrote a piece of mail to the private lender, his home address. I wrote him a mail and I said, hey, this is whatever. My name is Ralph. I am interested in purchasing one of the properties that had a mortgage from you. I'm trying to clear the title, but the title company couldn't get a hold of you. Please give me a call at this number. So he sent me an email back because I put my business card in there. He sends me an email and says, hey, I got your letter. Please give me a call whenever you're available because you didn't include the property address, whatever, etc. I go ahead and I call him. We talk, and he's like, okay, I see, I found the property. I want $5,000 to clear that property. I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's a lot of money, and I don't think the seller's gonna agree to it, and whatever. So the seller's like, no, I'm not taking $5,000. I'm paying him $2,000. I call back the guy, and he's like, nah. He's like, $2,000 is ridiculous. He's like, I'm owed $34,000, and I'm not trying to take it all, but I would need to get at least a reasonable amount. I'm like, I get it, but I don't know what to do. So I go ahead and go back to the seller, and I go back between them back and forth until we agree on the price of $3,500. So if the seller pays the mortgage lender, the private lender, $3,500, they're willing to clear the title, which will let me take it and assign it. I was like, okay, this is great. You know, it's working out. Then the seller is like, you know what? I had some people reach out to me, and I told them $34,000, and they haven't really said anything back to me. And that's the problem. When you're a wholesaler and you have other people reaching out to, to your seller saying, hey, I want to purchase the property, and if they tell them $34,000, which I was trying to buy it for $25,000, and the wholesalers are like, oh, that's not a bad price, that screws me over. That's the part. It's like, I'm not mad that so many people do wholesaling. There's enough fish for everyone because a lot of people don't do the job, so it's not a big deal. Go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're actually going for it, I respect you for it. Good for you. And I hope you achieve everything that you're trying to achieve. But there's also the part that sucks is that other people may put offers on the property, and then they may go back and be like, oh no, never mind. I actually don't want to pay $34,000. I want to pay $28,000. And they may tell that to the seller at the end of the contract. And at that point, the seller is already with contract with them, not with me, and that screws me over. But I was like, okay, whatever. You want 34? We'll do 34. I went the smart route, and I said, hey, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put the property on the contract. It was a little risky, but I said, I'm not going to put the property on the contract, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the seller first, and I'm going to see what they're offering, and we'll go from there. So I had a property posted for $37,000. I was like, if somebody bites on 37, I'll give him a 34, I'll take $3,000 and I'll walk away, because I'm not trying to screw him over, but I also want to get paid for my services. It said, so I posted property for 37, it flies off the shelf. I had 140 responses about the property in like 24 hours. It was hot. And I ended up selling it for $38,000. And I went back to the seller, I gave him $34,000. I signed the contract the same day with the seller, and then the investor right away after that, giving them the property for $38,000. So I made $4,000, and I can be like one of those guys who say, I made $4,000 in 5 minutes. No, it took me like a month to actually figure it out to get there. But they don't like to talk about that. Either way, so that half the deal fell through, and now what I was going into this, I went on the rant about that, but my other deal today fell through. Well, it hasn't been finalized, that it's not going to work out yet. So we are going to see tomorrow. But from what it seems like, it's not going to work out. It's vacant land that I had on Lakeland. It wasn't a big assignment fee. It was only a couple $1,000s. But either way, it was still something I really wanted to go through. But those are some things you can't control, because apparently, according to the county, there's no legal access to the vacant property, vacant land. And what that does is that the seller can't really buy it, and it's up to them to buy it or not. But from my understanding, it's just, I don't know. I understand that it's not worth for them to buy a property. I understand it's not worth for them to buy a property there's no access to. Absolutely. There is access to the property, but apparently the way it's done is that that's a private road that gives you access to the property. So the owner of that private road can actually go any day, and be like, hey, you can't drive to your property anymore. I'm sorry, peace out. So that really sucks. We're gonna see tomorrow what we can figure it out. I mean, it might fall through, it might not work out. It is what it is. It's stressful, it's upsetting, because I was really hoping for this deal. I was really excited. I was on such a run, I've been doing so well, and this happened, and it happens. And it's the process is that nothing will go smoothly. I have a saying on my wallpaper on my computer that says, a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor, because that's true. And if this was all, if it was all easy and I never made mistakes, or people didn't screw me over, maybe I would never learn any of this stuff, right? So, but I just kind of wanted to share with you guys, although this episode is not that the news are not that good, and yeah, I got some good news, but I got bad news, and that's how business is. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I appreciate you guys following me through this journey. I have got multiple requests, and I have talked to people on the phone now, and it's awesome. I'm really pumped about it. This is so cool. I know we're not a huge channel yet. It's only yet, and but everyone who's following so far and following my journey, and everyone who's asking questions, I hope all of you guys know I really appreciate you. That's why I'm doing this. I really hope I can bring some value to your lives. But either way, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Like the video, subscribe to the page to not miss any more updates of what's going on. And as always, peace.